All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another edition of the ToutSuite Social Club. Tonight is very special. Tonight we have another very good friend from France that decided to stop by finally. And plus we have a great audience of fantastic people right beyond us that we'll be introducing a little bit. But Yves,
Hello.
thank you very much for joining us, Yves Gangloff, a very well-known winemaker in the Rhône region, and along with him we have Dave Miner, my friend Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Very well. How
All
about you?
right, good to see you.
Good to see
And of course, you know, his right hand, which is Jack Edwards. Jack, good evening. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Didier.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us, and let's get into it. Do you have any tattoos?
No.
No
No,
tattoo?
no,
I mean, you're Yves Gangloff. A gang of what? What? Do you have a gang? Is it a gang or?
No, Gangloff, the origin of the name is from Germany, and it was meaning you know Wolfgang.
Yeah.
It's the who the wolf walk. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And but my name comes from Germany. A part of my family comes from Germany.
Okay.
I know. I am from Alsace. I'm born in Strasbourg.
Okay.
In Alsace.
All right. So that's French.
I love Riesling.
Well, yeah,
I love
yeah,
Riesling
yeah.
actually, but
All right. But you don't make any
no,
Riesling.
no. I'm not able to.
So no tattoos and
Nothing to do with the giant.
Oh, no. Maybe not here.
So no tattoos and your name of German of origin, and you know that's great. That's fine. That's fine. Hey, we have also from LA Paul Young that is decided to join us again tonight. Paul, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing well. And
Fantastic.
good to
Looking
see you,
good.
Yves.
I like the hat.
Thank you.
You like
I'm
my
known
hat?
for my hats.
No, I don't like that.
You like my hat. All right, that's all right. So let's talk about a few things. So let's see. So when did you come up to the Rhône Valley? From what was your the destination? How do you make it up from Germany to
Not from Germany. I'm French, but
well, from Strasbourg.
but no, I can tell you this story very shortly. I'm on Strasbourg, but so I finished my very short study in Alsace, and then I was out work, don't work,
Yeah.
and my brother. I will speak to my brother from one of my brother later. My brother who makes the label lives in Lyon.
Yeah.
Lyon is the main street, the main town just in the north of Rhône Valley. He lives there at this time. He finished his study, and I learned about that he rents a castle.
Oh, you rented a castle?
A room in a castle
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Ampuy.
Oh, yeah.
So Ampuy is the main village of the Côte-Rôtie place. And when I knew that my brother lived in a castle, so I had to visit him. And this time it was in 1978. And
Is it your younger brother? You have a
I have four brothers, but
that's a
this
tribe.
one
That's a gang.
it's a gang club, a Steppenwolf. And then when I visit him at this time, it was 78. I met Mathilde, who became my wife.
Yeah.
So I have to stay
Yeah.
and work.
Oh, yeah.
And a neighbor of Mathilde was looking for a worker for the vineyard, and I said, okay, I can do the job. And so I started in the beginning of the 80s to work.
How old were you then?
I was 24, and then with Mathilde we start to work, and we were lucky because at this time this area was not so developed, and it was the very beginning. And you know it's always the same story. You are on the right train, and you go off the train on the right station. And then it was the case. And so we 2 years later we found some vineyard to buy and to rent, and the story began. And then
so you're making money, like you could buy like vineyards like that, or you can make from a rich family?
At this time I don't have any money. I don't have any centime. I mean, nothing.
Nothing.
But and the banker was not gentle with me at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I win at this time I won enough money to buy.
To buy it, yeah.
To buy,
Yeah.
and then with my wife we realized that maybe 15 years, 18 years after,
Yeah.
when we look back,
Yeah.
we realize what happened, right?
Yeah.
And where we were.
You couldn't do it again. I mean, if that was,
No.
if that was like a young Yves Gangloff coming up in Cambrieux,
Because
there's no way you would be able to do that.
Because this place in 30 years became very, very well known.
Yeah.
So now everything is planting.
In the 1970s, Cambrieux had almost disappeared off the map. There was maybe only a couple of producers left.
Well, in Cambrieux,
Yeah.
one guy take care of the appellation. It's Georges Vernet.
Yeah.
And this guy, maybe, not maybe, sure, he saved the place because he believed in this place since the 50s. And these guys keep alive the place. And we can, I want to say hello to Georges Vernet today because this guy is
What do you think, Paul, when were you first introduced into the Yves Gangloff wine? And by the way, let's talk about the first one we're tasting here. This is a Saint Joseph.
Saint Joseph.
No, yeah.
This is 2010.
Correct.
And this is based off Marsan in Roussan or Marsan?
This one is 100% Marsan.
100% Marsan.
And for us, it's a brand new because we bought the vineyard in 2007.
Okay.
And it's so brand new for us. And now I have five vintages.
Yeah.
When I first talked to Yves and I found out that he was making Saint Joseph, I said, "Can I have some?" He said, "No." And I said, "Well, come on, give me a couple of cases," because he never sent any to the U.S. until last year, I think.
Yeah.
And I finally talked him out of 3 cases of white and 3 cases of red. And it's so limited. I think I was the only one the first year that got
That's a bit Jewish, isn't it? I mean, just to be so close to the wine, or you don't make enough of it.
The first vintage I in the street next.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And we drink the red.
So, Paul, how do you came up and how do you become acquainted with Yves, and what is tell us your side of the story here.
The story sounds very familiar for those who were here last week, which is through the Hospice Throne. And with Francois Viard and Yves Couron and Pierre Gaillard all came together. And we just, I think our friendship started because Yves and I both love music. And we started talking about our favorite artists. And in one of my previous lives, I was happy to be the road manager for Captain Beefheart and the Magic Band, and I was a roadie for the Mothers of Invention. And Yves just sort of went, "Oh my God, Frank Zappa!" So that's sort of how we became friends, through music and through Hospice Throne.
Did you become an importer right there, or were you already in business?
No. For many years, I was at Hospice Throne just as a participant, someone who loved wine, and I would come every year. And it was a few years after we had met that I started selling wine. And as I told you last week, it was one night, I think 2006, when Francois Viard said he fired his importer, that I decided to become an importer. And Yves was with another national importer who will go nameless. And I think one year Yves said he forgot, he had some people in his winery. You remember this story, Yves? And he forgot to put the bung back in the barrel after he was tasting wine. And
Yes,
of course,
but,
that
we
barrel,
don't have to think about this story.
that barrel was for his old importer. And then I think Dave and Jack got the wine a year before I did. So I didn't get the Saint Joseph the first year. I got a little bit the second year.
Right.
So,
Oh, well, that's fair, you know.
I'm told that we're not getting any next year, Paul. Nobody's getting any next year, so enjoy what you have right now. Just,
yeah.
yeah.
So
But
I
it's not
don't
some-
even have a bottle to taste with you guys today because I think I got all of 3 or 5 cases this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
Give me your glass.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Thank
Let me
you.
lay down under the TV.
Yeah, oh wait, that's got Congrue in it. Let me get an empty one. But it's
This
been
is
a
a
great,
next technology we're
Right.
developing that, by the way.
when you can get it through the camera, I'll appreciate it.
That's right. That's right.
In San Francisco, by the way, and Paul can to speak for LA. I think K&L Wines has probably in LA, but in San Francisco, the only person who got any of this was the Ferry Plaza wine merchant in San Francisco. So if you're interested, they might have a bottle or two, and she can get. I have another case or two that she could get from me, but that's about it. So really, really rare.
Yeah. So that's what is the price point of this wine anyway?
This one's about $45 retail. I think $45 or $50.
Is that cheaper in LA or like a more expensive in Northern California?
Oh, it's always better price in LA. We just don't have any.
You heard that?
That one I forgot to look up, but I think it's about $50 retail. Yeah.
But unfortunately, you guys get to taste it, but there is so little made that it really, I don't think you'll ever find it in a store.
Well, I'm pretty glad
In fact, after tasting it now, Dave and I are probably going to split up the rest of it and take it all home with us.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what we're doing this
If I could get a case from you extra that you don't need, send it down here and I'll pick it up.
Fat chance, Paul.
So,
Kind of a bottle.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when was the first time you came up in the United States?
It was in California. It's because we heard about with Georges Vernet.
Yeah.
We heard about the event Hospice du Rhône.
Yeah.
This event was created by John Alban,
Yeah.
Matt Garrison, and Vicky Carroll. And John Alban invited us, Yves Curon, myself, and Pierre Gaillard,
Yeah.
and François Villard. And
I remember that.
when we arrived in this place in '98, we arrived. Something happened there,
Yeah.
and for me, California was meaning music,
Yeah.
and not wine. I heard about the wine, but I heard from a very long time music. I love the music from the 70s, the 60s, 70s. So for me, go to California. It's
You like disco?
it's go in the legend and
You like disco?
walk on the
Not
street.
disco?
Walk on the street in San Francisco. For me, it's something.
So, question for you: what do you think of the wine when you got here? You like the wine in
So
California?
it was maybe difficult for us to understand what happened
Yeah.
about the wine because the wine were very big, very dark, very. It was for us difficult to drink it because not so elegant, not so, but
Fresh.
not so fresh. And so now we come here almost every year, and in maybe 10, 12 years, the wine, the quality of the wine grow up. And
So what do you mean? Like, the wines are getting better?
more elegant, more.
Yeah.
For me, I always say that one bottle is for 2 persons.
Yeah.
And if you can't drink one bottle with two, you can drink 1 person, 1 bottle.
Yeah.
But 2 persons, it's okay. You have to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you need to be 10 persons to drink 1 bottle, it's always a problem
Big.
for me.
Yeah.
Too big. So that's and today we can find in California many very very good wines.
Yeah.
And because
Can you tell your friends in France that now too?
huh?
You need to tell everyone in France that,
yes. When I go back to France, I said that something happened everywhere around the world,
Yeah.
and we have to be curious about what's happened outside
Yeah.
our area, because we always think that we are on the right place. It's true,
Yeah.
but we have to understand that something happened outside. And today we can say that winemaker, we don't care about what happened outside. They are not, they are wrong.
Yeah.
That's and what we realize since 10 years now, that we can we exchange our, because all the winemaker we met, we are the same generation.
Yeah.
We grow together in the same line.
Yeah.
And so
So, all right, so let's talk about it a little bit here. So you just said that you guys kind of all came up at the same time, especially in Condrieu when George took over or like maintained that, and you guys came up and flocked in, and then kind of revived the appellation. Who will be, you think, would be the leader of that? I mean, if there was a name beside George,
yeah,
who else will be from your generation? How old is George?
George is it's, I don't want to mistake, but more than 85.
Okay, so
Maybe 87.
so who will make the transition from that? I mean, are you do you people know you
we can't
do you have like a chapoutier or
Yeah,
I don't know, we're not putting names.
in our area we can't speak about Georges Venet if you don't speak about Gigal.
Okay.
Gigal was also on the place since a long time. Etienne Gigal.
Yeah.
After it Marcel, now Philippe.
Yeah.
And this enterprise keep alive also the north part of Kosroti, and because this guy, by the way, helped many winemaker like me who begin at this time, because we sell the grapes and il a permis.
Yeah. Authorized.
It authorized to many winemaker to start.
Yeah.
And
authorized. Okay, so it's not authorized. That's more he encouraged.
Encouraged. Yeah, because when I start with my own vineyard in '83, so I sell my grapes to Gigal until 87. 87 I start to make wine, but I carry on to sell half of my production to Gigal the grapes, and I make some small wine. So it helped me a lot to start really.
Yeah.
And after some guys like Chapoutier, Jaboulet, more in the south, but if we have to remember of two names in our area, it's Gigal and Garnet.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah.
But there's so many young, up and coming, incredible producers.
But it's almost a third generation, though.
And they all, a lot of them have them to thank, obviously.
So now we are all this generation. We are 50 and more than 50 today, but a new generation is coming behind us. It's very good.
How different the wine business is in France compared to here? And I'm more talking about maybe winemakers. Like in California, you have like consultants of winemakers. Do you have things like that in Condrieu or in the Rhone Valley especially, where you have a winemaker that will be working for two or three different type of wineries and so?
Tu parles des œnologues?
Des œnologues ou des vignerons, enfin, les vignerons pas un œnologue, mais là, c'est pas un œnologue.
Ouais.
Company like that within the north.
In area, many winemakers made by their own the wine, and it's by the way, it's my case, but also many other winemakers like œnologists to make wine, and but our generation we are maybe 10 people who come from outside, and we don't know anything about wine, and maybe we are a small part of what is healthy in our area today. I think.
But you don't have like a guy like you or a guy like François or Yves Gangloff or Pierre Gaillard for that matter that go and make a wine for or make the winery make wine for a different
For other?
for other, yeah.
But so I have my own place, very small. I am maybe one of the smallest. I have today 8 hectares.
How many cases you make a year?
I don't speak about cases. I speak about bottles. Today it's 35,000 bottles.
35,000 bottles?
And,
that's probably on 6 packs or?
So I have 8 hectares, but like if Curon now it's maybe it's almost 50. François it's 30. Pierre Gaillard is more because he make wine everywhere in France, so it's maybe 100. So
it's more like the Cronenbourg of France.
No.
Didier,
yeah, go ahead.
I sent you a picture of Yves' winery and house if you want to show everyone.
All right, I'm going to do that without goofing up.
That might be a nice picture to show when you're looking at the size of his place.
All right. Well, here is the here. This is the. What are we looking for out here?
This just downstairs.
It's my castle. I'm going to buy that castle.
That's his castle.
Dave wants to buy that castle so bad.
But today is the birthday of my daughter.
Oh, is that right?
She's 30 today, and she wants to buy this castle.
Oh, okay.
But downstairs is my cellar. Just up, it's my home.
Where? This one here?
Yes, it's my home.
And
downstairs
okay.
And the cellar is there just to the left. On
But
the bottom.
is that right?
Today my cellar is too small, but
Okay.
I'm okay here.
Oh, that's awesome. So then, let's go to
Chateau
this
Minor,
one.
right up there.
So what are we looking at here?
So this place is called La Bonnette. It just I live in a very small valley in Condrieu downtown.
Yeah.
And this vineyard is called La Bonnette. It's Condrieu. And I plant this vineyard. I started to plant it in 89.
Yeah.
In
89?
Yeah.
Do you have a mule or something like that to help you, or
You rappel on a rope.
No. I am the mule.
You're the mule?
I was the mule.
Now you have
I have Boca.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But I spend a lot of my time to be.
So tell us a little bit about. I think I may have another picture, and may give like a little bit more of a sense for us.
Yeah.
This is like this is terraces. So how difficult is that to like build that?
This place, La Bonnette, I bought this in 88 and start to plant it in 89. So most of the place,
The walls.
the walls was up.
Oh, they were already in.
But many was down, so we have to rebuild.
Okay.
And that's only difficulty in.
So that was a pre-existing vineyard that you can revive.
This vineyard
planted it.
We saw that the vineyard was built by the Romans, maybe almost 2,000 years ago, and because the Romans spent 3 centuries in area, and they don't spend 3 centuries to make the war.
Your place,
They spend maybe 2 years to make the war, and then they have to and they create.
While we're looking at the picture of this vineyard, we should probably talk about the wine that came from.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah. So this is Condrieu. That's what we're looking at right on one of the vineyards of Condrieu. And let's bring it back. Oops, I don't want to mess it up. Okay, let's go back here. So what would be the exposure of that? We're looking
this one is the southwest.
Southwest? Okay.
But most of the appellation of Condrieu is exposed southeast, southwest.
Okay.
It's along the river, Rhône River.
There's a bit.
And the soil is granitic.
Yeah.
And
Granite, they grow, I mean, they literally grow these vines
And
in
all-
granite, you know, it's crazy.
all the work is by hand.
Yeah.
So it's,
Everything by
you
hand,
know, you can't go.
So how many people do you employ? Okay,
I have 3 employees
Yeah.
all the year, and I use 15 for May to July,
Okay.
and for the harvest is 35 people in the vineyard and 50 when for the dinner.
Yeah. You know, the family, you know, the kids and all that. This is awesome. I mean, have you seen anything
and
like
the
that?
grapes for Condrieu?
It's Viognier,
Viognier only.
100% Viognier.
Right.
So Viognier, Condrieu, it's the main place for Viognier. You know, Viognier comes from this place.
So tell us a little bit why people should be like drinking, you know, Syrah and the Viognier rather than Cabernet Sauvignon. What does it mean for you? What?
People should drink both.
Well, no, but that's not for him. I'm just saying that's what he's doing. You know,
No,
that's great here.
It's difficult to answer because we are today we realize that we are on the right place for this variety of Syrah, Viognier, Marsanne. So, and our place is so tiny. You know, Côte-Rôtie, it's 280 hectares. Condrieu, it's 160. So most of the domain don't have enough wine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough wine. I sell wine. I start to sell wine in November. In March, I am sold out. You know, so for us it's very difficult to answer this question because we are on the right place and people want the wine. So,
Yeah, I mean that's it's just Paul.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, people should be drinking more Syrah and Viognier and Marsanne? I mean, we don't see that much in California, and even like a Syrah is not very well recognized. I mean, like people, you know, we may have like you know, you go to the Hospice du Rhône, and you do see you know hundreds and hundreds of producers. But I mean, that's not, you know, popping up like, you know, Pinot Noir or Chardonnay or, so there is definitely a lack of a recognition of the grape, you know. So why people should be, in your terms, why people should be drinking more Syrahs or Côte d'Or varietals?
Well, because we love them. It's simple. But I think that, you know, one of the things I've learned over the years and that I've appreciated, it's not really the varietal, it's the terroir, and Dave, you know, grows Cab and he grows Syrah. And I'm not going to say don't drink Cab, but you got to drink wines that express the terroir. And what Yves is doing in Côte-Rôtie and in Condrieu and in Saint-Joseph is making just these wonderful expressions. And one of the problems we have in America is there's so many different ways to make Syrah that when people go and buy a California Syrah, they don't know if it's got the elegance and the complexity of a Côte-Rôtie, or it's got a big, like Yves was saying when he first came to America, a lot of people were making these Syrahs that were just giant powerhouses. And now we're finding in California, people are looking towards the French and making a more restrained style, lower in alcohol, with more finesse, better acids. So Syrah is just a really chameleon grape because it can really show a lot of different styles. And it's not, so until we get defined in terms of different areas of the state and terroir, it's hard for a consumer just to say, hey, I want to buy a Syrah, where if they want to buy a Napa Cab, people have a very good idea of the taste profile they're going to get in Cabernet. Yeah. Syrah is still an unknown from the outside of the bottle, but in France, it's much more known if you're buying Côte-Rôtie, what you're going to get, or if you buy Cornas, or if you buy Saint-Joseph. And Jack, you may want, you're selling California Syrah, so chime in on this.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, actually. That's, you know.
And we can also have a geographic answer because we we are on the top of Rhône Valley, and we are with Syrah and Dionnier exactly at the right position. That the Syrah and Dionnier can be ripe. If you grow Syrah and Dionnier maybe 200 kilometers in north of our area, it never.
They're right.
Never, so for the variety of grapes, it's always this, and maybe it's a story of Europe, and we don't need to. We don't need to put water in.
Do you believe in the AOCs in France?
Yeah, sure, because.
Are you you strongly believe on that, or do you believe on something that'll be more loose, like we have here in California, where now everything goes?
I think I believe in OSC because it's not it's big. This story don't become from nothing.
Yeah.
It's because we are right place, right variety, right climate, and this story don't start suddenly.
It goes both ideas, I think, have strong points and weak points. I mean, in the States, we don't like to be regulated. We don't like to be told what to do. But at the same time, they've figured out through, years and years and years of growing grapes that, this variety and this soil and this climate is right. And they regulate that. What we need to do in the States is find the right climate, the right, soil.
We can wash too.
Yeah, you can, but I think, there's plenty of examples around the world of, people growing Syrah in the right spot.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of examples here of people growing Syrah in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Or Pinot or Merlot or whatever it might be. So, and there's different approaches to that. I mean,
we're starting to figure it out. We figured out where the best Cabernet comes from, and that's why I think Napa Valley Cabernet is so popular.
Yeah.
Syrah's grown everywhere, so we kind of quite haven't figured that out yet. There's some really great ones out there, and I think we're starting to get there. But you don't see anybody in Oakville growing Pinot Noir. We figured that out too. We figured out where the good Pinot Noirs come from. The guys out in Sonoma Coast and Santa Lucia Highlands and Santa Rita Hills are really popular Pinot Noirs. You know why? Because they found out that Pinot Noir grows really well.
So you believe that
nobody's growing Cabernet there.
You're going to get regulated by yourself.
We're getting to
I think if you want to make really good examples of these varietals, it behooves you to find the right climate and the right soil.
Right.
If you want to make mediocre schlock, plant it wherever you want. That's fine. But if you really care about what it is you're doing and making a great example of that varietal, you have to consider soil first.
In France, in 10 years, in 10 vintage, you have to expect to have maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 vintage difficult, and that's the price. But we have to because we learn in bad vintage we learn more.
Yeah.
If you have always a good vintage, you don't learn.
Well, I have a question
when
for
it's
you.
too easy, it's not good. My life is not my life will be not enough long to understand what happens.
I have a question for you, but it reminds me of something we were doing back then in one industry in France where, every time you're receiving a case of wine, you knew that 2 bottles would be corked. So you really, when you're charging for the wine on the wineries, you're charging, 10, but you're charging for, you knew you'd be losing a 2 bottles, so the price would be reflecting into the cost of the wine. And I'm wondering if you guys are doing the same thing in France. Some of the prices are so expensive sometimes where, that, like you said, you have 4 years, out of 10 years, you're going to have 4 years, you're going to suck. And then what you do is okay, that's how much we lose during the 4 years. We need to split that during the course of the 6 years and make it I don't know. I mean, that's just what is
in France, when I have a bad vintage, I call my banker. It's very...
I'm sure. So,
Very agreeable.
What is the pros and cons for you of the AOC in France? I mean, the strict, les pour et les contre des appellations d'origine contrôlée.
I don't think that we have so much problem.
No.
Huh? People who are against ROC, I don't think that. I
No.
don't think so, no. Because
But
ROC makes
dry
sense.
farming, for instance.
Huh?
Dry farming, ne pas irriguer. There should be have you the right of if when you have a draw this year, very hot, that you should be putting some water in it. At least you can save your.
In the last 15 years, we had only 2003 with a heat, and we understand for 2003 what happened. I called my friend in California.
Yeah.
How can I do with this kind of vintage? Help me.
Oh, yeah.
Do I use yeast or?
Yeah.
No, but it's so rare. It's rare. It's rare.
Will you make wine in California?
I have 3 experience. I
Conversation.
I have. I speak about 2003 because so I never speak about this, but today I want to speak about it. What happened really? I write. I have a good friend, John Alban.
Yeah.
And he's in Arroyo Grande in the Central Coast.
Yeah.
He make Syrah, Viognier, Marfan. And this guy we invited for
Mm-hmm.
and it was in April. I sent him an email, and I wrote him. I said to him, you know what? I lose 80% of my Viognier with frost because we had
John Alban did.
yeah. I was frost in France. 80%.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John Alban told me, okay, if you want to, we can share today an experience. I give you one of my yield of Viognier, and we exchange our experience, and you can have a benefit of this experience. I say, wow.
I'm wondering if John is listening to it.
I think so. I hope. I will just. And so we make wine, a very tiny production.
Yeah.
And we make wine, and this wine was calling conversation because it was exactly what happened, and we speak about what we think about the wine, and it was my first and very good experience with.
So John sent the wine to you in the.
No, all the wine was selling here.
Okay.
I bought it the lot at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so kind from him to. And then I make 2 wine, 2 Syrah with Taf Kuning in Santa Barbara. Is wine from the wine we buy the grape from Dimitria, and we make 2 vintage, 06 and 07 in Syrah.
Mm-hmm.
And we call this wine. So I have a wine. It's called
The one that we just poured?
La Barbarine, and we call this wine Santa Barbarine. But that's all. But it's very interesting to exchange and to and we learn each other.
Yeah.
Every time.
Is it more difficult to make 1 year or more difficult to more challenging? It's more challenging.
For us, it's a very good experience.
Yeah.
And François Villard make experience
La
with
Diligence.
La Diligence with Dave
We
Mine.
reported on last week's show.
Since how many years?
Since 2004.
Yeah,
I think one of
10 years.
the greatest things about working with Rhone varietals in the States is getting to know these guys at the Huskies Rhone and recognize how interested they are in what we're doing and how open with information they are with us. And you don't really get that necessarily with maybe people from Burgundy or people from Bordeaux. So we've developed these wonderful relationships with these guys because we're all the same generation.
The experience is not one way. It's
No, it's
two
both ways.
It's a meeting.
But not that many people on either side are that eager to learn from what other people do.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the things that has really bonded all of us together is, an appreciation for what we do, but an appreciation for what they do. and just sharing wine, sharing food, having a wonderful time together, you know, enjoying these wines and learning, you know, and that's what life is all about. You know, I mean, that's,
I guess it.
and
Just one note on the Condrieu, which we finished.
Does.
Available, if you're in Napa Valley, it's available now as of today at Acme Wines in St. Helena, and then also at the Ferry Plaza in San Francisco, and Paul in LA, maybe
my sales guy.
Oh, I think Winehouse, K&L, Woodland Hills Wine Company. I don't have my database.
The Condrieu was absolutely fantastic.
Or you can call Paul Young at Paul Young Wines, and he'll tell you
What is
where.
like? How much can you age this wine?
That depends on the vintage. The vintage. You know,
What is this one here? The one we
it's,
had.
010, I think it's.
This is 09 La Barberine.
No.
Condrieu, yeah.
010. 010, I think it's one of the good vintage we can age. I want to speak about the last 10 years, and we had a vintage like 99, 2001, 2005, 2006. This vintage can age, but usually we say that Condrieu it's 3-5 years. If you want to keep freshness, and after it became something else. But,
yeah, I mean, that was, I loved it. I mean, like, the mouthfeel was incredible. I mean, that was like, you know, so, you know, nice glycerin and
France,
very well balanced. I mean, that was
in France, most of the customers always say to me, we drink the wine a year. One time I have a guy who bought me 2 cases in November, and he came in February and said, I finished. Do we have more? I say, no, I don't have more.
That was
Yeah.
Good customer, though.
Yeah, good customer.
So what is your with your wine? You know, what is your favorite dish that you like to cook with? What is it like? You know,
With Condrieu?
yeah. If someone were to buy like, you know, those wines today, and what would be some of your most, you know?
Il faut déjà oublier les fruits de mer déjà.
Les fruits de mer, seafood.
Yeah.
Fish,
Yeah. But some fish like river fish.
Like trout.
Pas les truites,
Perch.
les perches, voilà.
Les perches.
And les
I love scallops.
Scallops. Very good, yeah.
And also for me, crab cakes. I
And
don't know if you do crab
and-
cakes in
and-
France.
and
Crab
white
cakes and Viognier
What,
Condrieu is incredible.
white meat also.
White meat.
Yeah.
Pork.
But
Pork
are you
and chicken.
But are you doing like sauces or like, you know, just grilled? Or
Avec des sauces blanches, des trucs comme ça.
Yeah.
Des-
morels?
Yeah. Et and cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese. Ghost cheese.
What do you like to cook the most? What is your favorite? You cook? You like cooking?
I'm cooking a lot, yes.
Yeah. So what is your to-go dish?
You know what I prefer? It was what my wife said to me. We are the best cooker when you open the fridge and nothing is and you do something. You see, but I like to cook fish.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to miss the la cuisson. Quoi.
Yeah. And you have the river, just the Rhone River.
Yeah. Oh no, forget.
What about you, Paul? What do you like to cook with? What do you like to eat with Yves wines?
I'm glad you say that. I let my wife do the cooking. She's a better cook than I am. The Condrieu, I think you guys have said a lot of it. I like chicken dishes, particularly when you're doing have some things with sauces or marinated. I love cheese with it. I do like pork with it. And just sitting here this afternoon, I've been drinking way too much because I have to work for the next few hours, but I enjoy the wine. It's incredible wine. And one of the things about pairing I found is you could actually pair things where you don't think it would work. And I'm quite surprised. So it's really try wines with different foods that you don't normally think of. But the Condrieu is just so rich, and it can hold up to dishes that, I just like it. Yeah.
I really enjoy the Condrieu. I mean, I don't think I've had something like that in a while here. Even the one from France that I really enjoyed was very, very different. And that was like, whoa. That was I don't know. Do you pick like a little bit later? So like between Francois and when you guys are talking, obviously, and do you pick a bit later than he does?
You know,
Or?
so every year it's a new story. Anyway, every year it's a new story. But so I'm knowing that Gangloff always picks the grapes very ripe, maybe too ripe.
Yeah.
But I think that the balance of the grapes.
So you like Michel Roland?
Who? I think that the good balance is always when it's ripe,
Yeah.
but it's very difficult. You know, for me, Viognier Syrah is maybe more easy, but Viognier always says that Viognier it's like you when you walk on a rope and you have to cross, and here it's not ripe, here it's ripe. You don't
Walking
have
a tightrope.
you don't have
Yeah.
to fall. And it's exactly this. If you but yeah, you know it's very difficult because in Viognier it's the same story here. In 2 days you can miss the right time.
Window.
And so I love to play.
Yeah.
I play.
So what you guys are thinking of the 1 year? You're like, it's very quiet and, you can, is that right?
We got the band back here, yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
So,
we get to hear you play
last
guitar.
line and introduce our guest.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's talk about this 1 year. So this
Yeah.
is 100% Syrah.
So this la Barbarine.
La Barbarine.
Barbarine it's
Côte rôtie.
Côte rôtie. So it's Syrah with 5% Viognier because in the Côte rôtie appellation you have the right to add some Viognier in the vineyard. And this wine comes from all the vineyard I plant.
Yeah.
But the young vineyard because I'm very young. It's a vineyard between 10 and 25 years. And the other bottle I made.
Here they call it all vines.
Yes.
Yeah, show
And the old vine is this. It's the all the vineyard I bought in '82 when I start.
Oh, wow.
The wine I have today is 60 years old.
We can taste it, but unfortunately there's none available for sale because Dave and I drank it all.
Jesus, so what kind of business you're into? I think the important Northern California.
No, we had just a few cases this year, and I sold my allocation. Paul may have a little bit left in LA.
I'm afraid it's in the cellars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The La Barbarine is available.
Yes, that's why you don't see the label anywhere in the restaurant because they have it.
Ferry Plaza Wines and K&L.
Come to my house. I would come to you.
Yeah.
But it's also the moment to speak about the labels.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit the labels. They're like
The labels. So it's the reason why I am winemaker.
To have this like
Because when I visit my brother, so I stay in this place because I met my wife, and my brother is an artist, he's a painter, and
Your brother is a fairly well-known painter in France, right?
Yeah. And when I start to make wine, it makes sense for me that my brother makes the label. So my brother, his name is Yves Gangloff. In Vienne, not in Austria, in France.
Okay.
Just in front of the Rhone river.
On the west side.
Just close to my house, and he make a very good job. And I also have I have 4 brothers, and the younger is also a painter.
Oh, that's right.
And my son is also an artist. He's a drummer, he's a painter, he's a sculptor, makes sculpture.
So they're all artists.
So not me.
Well, you're in tune with the nature.
No.
You're a musician and a winemaker, so I think that's
I collect guitar.
Yeah.
Me
too. How many guitars you have, by the way?
Or maybe 30 guitar.
30 guitars?
No, not so much as Dave might.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be coming back in a little bit, but we have a little surprise for all of you, even for you, Paul. Hopefully you're going to be enjoying that. We have some friends that do play guitar, know about guitar, and they can talk about guitars. And so I'm gonna step out. Jack, we're gonna step out, and I have those guys coming up. You're gonna take my place here. I'm gonna take my drink, my gin and tonic, and and we're gonna have those guys coming up and play some tune here for a little bit, and we'll be back a little bit later.
Good. All right.
So, the red? The first one I poured you.
Come in, guys. Come here.
I'm gonna need more wine if we're gonna just get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
We have more wine. We have some good wine.
Don't you move, Dave. The world's safe.
We have plenty more, so. We have to warm up the musicians with a little wine first.
What a nice guitar you have, Howard.
Like that?
So Dave, you should talk a little bit about Benedetto guitars while these guys are getting ready.
So, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, Howard? Was it more than that?
2000 and,
I don't know. I've always collected guitars since I was like 14 years old. So, and I fell in love with jazz guitar at a very early age and started listening to great jazz guitarists like Joe Pass and, Wes Montgomery and, Django Reinhardt, Charlie Christian, and just fell in love with it. So, one year, I sought out this guitar maker named Bob Benedetto, and Bob is probably the premier jazz guitar builder in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And I ordered a guitar, and we when push came to shove, we decided on staining a guitar with wine to sort of celebrate the commonality between music, wine, good times, friends and fun. And Bob actually introduced me to Howard Paul. This is Howard Paul, who's now the CEO of Benedetto Guitars, accomplished jazz guitarist in his own right. And he and I became very good friends, and this has kind of blossomed into doing concerts here in Napa every year, releasing a wine that we produce called the Benedetto Signature Cabernet, which is obviously Cabernet-based, not Rhone-based, but and every year Bob builds me a guitar stained with wine. And so this is my latest one, which I just got today, as a matter of fact. This is a Cremona, built by Bob Benedetto. It's 16-inch body, and it's all the coloring here is wine stained. So he reduces the wine down, stains the guitar, and then he does fancy inlays like my logo from my wine label. He's built some of these with French oak barrel wood from our barrel staves. He's just an amazing artist. So, Bob as a luthier, a guitar builder, is as artistic and creative and wonderful as these guys who play the guitars, or Yves Gangloff, who makes unbelievable wine and also plays the guitar. And then left of Howard is Howard Alden, who's one of the great jazz guitarists living today, also in our illustrious age group of the over 50 crowd, and
slightly over 50.
Slightly.
Only slightly.
Like 6 months?
Yeah.
Something like that?
6 days.
6 days. The interesting thing, too, is Bob makes both 6- and 7-string guitars. I'm too much of a mental midget to play a 7-string, but both of these gentlemen play 7-string Benedettos. But Howard is demonstrating my new 6-string, and Howard Alden is playing his brand new 7-string, which is also, by the way, the only wine-stained Benedetto ever made for anyone other than me, which is very cool.
MD 2020, by the way.
MD 2020, yeah, we use that. But we're also doing a concert tomorrow night here in Napa at the Napa Valley Opera House, which is the Benedetto Players, and produced by Minor, and celebrating the release of the 09 Minor family Benedetto Signature Cabernet. So we have these two wonderful gentlemen, a great Swedish guitar player named Andreas Oberg, who will be coming in tomorrow. And then we also have our fabulous rhythm section back here, Mr. Ben Tucker on bass, one of the kings of jazz. And then my dear friend, Mr. Quentin Baxter from Charleston, South Carolina, who's percussionist extraordinaire and a beautiful man. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to drink some wine.
I just want to say that because Dave Minor, I am in my collection. I have a Benedetto guitar.
Yes.
With this guy.
Made with French oak.
Yeah, with
From Dave's
also
barrel.
on the neck.
Some wine?
No, on the neck it's from your barber.
Oh, yeah. The French oak barrel, yeah. So, yeah, we built, we had a fender built for Yves with his label on it. And
Hope
then
we spelled it right.
we made a great Benedetto. So now, you two should play guitar.
This is a French song, but
Oui.
but the words were written by Johnny Mercer, who's from Savannah.
Which is where Benedetto is.
Right.
tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night at the Opera House, we're gonna do a little wine tasting from, I think, 7 to 8. And
We have,
Yes.
yeah, we have tickets?
tickets still available,
Okay.
at the Opera House, website or box office.
Okay,
They're like 30 or 35 bucks.
Okay.
So not too expensive.
no, that's perfect.
And you get the little wine tasting beforehand.
Hey,
And
even better.
it's the release of the new Benedetto
The
Cabernet
release of
Sauvignon.
the 09 Benedetto Cabernet Sauvignon, which is only 200 case production.
Oh, is that right?
I know it's not a Rhone varietal, but it's still quite tasty.
We'll be tasting that too?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm in.
Okay.
Susan, you in? I know Boris in.
Oh, hop on a plane, get your butt up here, my friend.
Well, I won't be up tomorrow, I'll be up in a few weeks.
Okay.
So,
We'll
Yves,
see some wine.
grab a guitar, let's hear you play.
So, but I was gonna,
Sorry.
Yeah, come on, Yves.
My finger is...
give it a shot, come on, don't be shy.
No.
I have
Come
a bad
on,
hand.
vas-y.
No.
I told everyone on Facebook you were going to play.
I thought you was going to play too.
On Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't want to play? No. All right, so maybe next year.
Next year, I have to practice.
So tomorrow night we have the show, that would be fantastic. Katie, come here.
I have to practice one song during 1 year.
How are you?
Here's Katie Hamilton Schaefer coming up, and let's talk a little bit about Saturday, what's going on Saturday, what we're doing.
Yeah, we have our Case for a Cause Festival, which lovely Dave Miner is a part of, and it's the entire mission is 12 vintners, 12 months, 12 bottles, 24 charities, 1 case, 1 mission. So we all want to raise funds, raise a glass for regional and local charities. So Saturday, we are feasting it forward, and some incredible chefs. We have Michel Cornu coming in from France with Jean-Charles Boisset. We have Michael Mondavi, we have Dave Miner, we have myself. It's going to be a rockin' party with live music from Vinyl, who's a local band here. So yeah, we're pumped.
Fantastic.
Yeah, when is it?
Saturday. Stay a
We'll
little
be rocking
longer.
out with you guys tomorrow night. So yeah.
Tomorrow night? No.
No, we'll be with you guys tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was another edition of ToutSuite Social Club. We're done. It's 7:05, and thank you very much. Great wines, fantastic. Guys, great music.
Can dedicate this little interview to my wife, Patty.
Absolutely.
And my daughter, Elsa. She's 30 today.
Oh,
All right, fantastic.
very
To
cool.
Mathilde.
Happy birthday.
Cheers. Cheers.
You got something.
Thank you for
Emily
coming
Miner.
Family.
Of course. And, well, thank you very much, guys, for coming up. That's fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. Gentlemen, that's
Thank you for having us.
fantastic. Hopefully, don't put those guitars away because we're going to, please listen to you. And we're going to have some meat. We're going to have, just eat a little bit and enjoy yourself. Again, thank you very much. Check out ToutSuite, looking at the Paul, thank you for joining us. Tonight, I know you're busy, and
Thank you for inviting me. And we will see you all soon.
That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. And so look at ToutSuite, help us out. We're actually selling a crowdfunding. And
He said crowdfunding.
crowdfunding. And so a little money could go a long way in a way that, we can keep doing what we're doing now is bring people, cool people in front of cameras. And have people like Paul, and it could be you as well, logging in. You just have to ask and have a great conversation. So anyway, join us, participate. Gentlemen, everybody, thank you very much. And now we're going to drink. All right, then. So long, guys.